All right, so I think this question comes up very often. Is it really worth it? When entrepreneurship is so hard, often chances of succeeding is in a single digit. Why do you even attempt it? So I'll give you my color of it. On one hand, there are all these Elon Musk to Steve Jobs stories. Though they are incredibly inspiring, ironically, they may not inspire the common man. They are exceptional cases and may not be relatable very often. So let's eliminate those big names. It is true, the entrepreneurship is painful, it has a huge financial risk, it has a huge society risk of failures. We can talk about all inspiring things, though in the end, we all need to face the reality. Forget about outsiders, your own friends, parents, family, including your spouse and kids. At some point of time, they will start questioning. So if you really ask my advice, I will say, as long as you have that entrepreneurial bug and the right mindset, you should still try. And here are my rationale. I think we all see things in binary. Only two possible outcomes. What about if you make it, and what about if you don't make it? So when you make it, we have our all laundry list, right? I'll buy a mansion, purchase a yacht, do a world travel, do some philanthropy, maybe do these press interviews. Maybe my wife start listening to me, though that doesn't happen. But anyway, there is a huge list. We can go on and on. The second outcome is really, what about if you don't make it? So before we go there, those things happens quite later, 2, 3, 5, sometime a few more years later. But there is a huge journey when you are really trying to make it. I think that's the most fun part. Like, think about dating. When there is a lot of romance, you are thinking about next day, what you are going to do. I think that part of the journey. By no means I am not saying that you cannot have a lot of fun as a married, but just take this as a sake of example. So really, I mean, you are hiring employees, you are opening offices, you are doing a sales, building a partnership, raising rounds. So there is a lot to achieve. All these small achievements keep you going, and things changes at extremely fast pace. Here are some real examples what I have observed, and I'm talking very short span of time. 8 months ago, when we were really trying to make a few success stories at Moonshot Junior, I and my leadership team, we were willing to work day and night with some of the early students. I reached out to many friends. Majority of them, they said that their kids are busy. On the hindsight, the reality was they really do not want to commit their kids' time to an unproven thing. Today, literally 8 months later, I have messages, at least 5 or 6 messages right now in my inbox. These are really higher ups. These are VPs in big companies. They are just saying, Alok, can you give only 10 or 15 minutes to my child? With my schedule, things are getting more difficult to manage, but I'm trying to do my best. But I'm just saying I'm nobody right now. We are just past the seed stage. Lately, some of my team members, they wanted to put together a context, and they are saying they will give third prize as Apple iPads, maybe second prize as MacBook Air, and the first prize is just lunch with Alok. I said, like, really? Why any child will give up their MacBook Air and have a lunch with me? But that is becoming a thing. Several parents reach out to me asking their kids' future, what should they do, internship and other things. There are many investors. At our seed round, we had dropped 1/3 of the investors. In next few months, a bridge round, and we are already saying that if you cannot close timely, we really do not have time to talk to you guys. So really, somebody is putting money in us, and we are saying we don't have a time for you. So those gratification, that kind of empowerment, I think you don't see in a corporate job. Even if you have a good success story, that stays in a very small silo. So what empowerment you get through entrepreneurship, I think very unparalleled. And then I don't want to put any political correctness layer, but in the end, we all are human beings. These are all gratification. They impact you one way or other. They motivate you, they satisfy your ego, and I think this gives you a lot more energy to do bigger and better things. So now let's talk about what about if you don't make it. I personally believe you still come out ahead. You will have a lot more respect for your job. And I think that's very important to understand. All these questions, right? I'm working hard. Why don't I get a promotion every 6 months? Why many of my ideas are shut down by leadership? They were excellent ideas. Why not to give 15 or 20% raise across the company? I mean, these are things we hear very often in the corporate job from many employees. I'll give you an example. One of my employees, he made some changes and the company able to save $5,000. And very junior employee, he was very upset. He thought that the company should share $2,500 with him. That's not how the companies work. So I think you will have these answers if you attempt entrepreneurship and really give it a genuine effort. Many of my friends, they have tried and failed. But today, if I see them after 2-3 years later, they all are a lot more content at work and having a lot more meaningful life. They really do not bitch around their bosses or leadership or company. They are in general happier, and they able to keep positive atmosphere both at work as well as at home. And I think able to strike a lot better balance. They're able to get more things done because they might able to learn all these multitasking skills. And I mean, you will have some temporary issue with your spouse, finances, but I think that fades away because since you gain a lot more experience and qualities, I think you might able to see faster promotions. You might have more economical opportunities. The best thing you have learned, empathy. So you will able to put yourself, your other bosses and employee now, if you have reporting, your spouse, your kid's shoe, may able to do a better conversation. And really, I think those things you cannot put a price tag. You might be more productive, you will get promotion faster, and I really do not want to say that you might be able to recoup losses or not, but in general, I have a feeling that eventually you catch up and you get even better. So you might have learned a lot more skills, so you can have side gigs, right? I personally have rented houses, rooms on Airbnb, sold goods on e-commerce, Amazon, eBay. I have rented my cars on Turo, hire car. All these were side gigs. I was profitable each time because now I know what to do, what not to do. Even those were not my focus businesses. So really the opportunity knocks multiple times, and if you have failed before, you might be a lot more valuable than you think. You are a lot better prepared to grab the next opportunity. So just to emphasize, if you have the entrepreneurial bug and you have the right mindset, I will really strongly recommend to try it.